Hello people, I am so excited today because I can finally talk about a classic neo-realistic Italian war drama. I'm of course talking about The Night Porter. What the fuck is that? Today I am talking about the Gestapo's last orgy, aka Caligula reincarnated as Hitler, even though Hitler isn't really in the film. And this film is also very notorious because it was on the video nasties list. It's also still banned in England. Imagine being British. Fucking cringe. Anyways, the film starts with a theme song that slaps harder than my father after a 12-pack of Coors. And don't worry, if I have kids, I'll keep the tradition going. After the intro credit, while the song is still playing, we have a Friedrich Nietzsche quote, which means this film is gonna have a great positive outlook on life. Yeah, I flunked philosophy. And we instantly get the positive vibes right off the back, with of course some beautiful imagery of what I assume is Germany or Poland, with of course voiceover from the Nuremberg trial. Not the real ones, I guess they couldn't, pay the license for that, but still. Then we follow this man in this pretty sick Mercedes, drive around for a while until he meets a woman named Lisa. They seem to be very close to each other. We learn that the man in the Mercedes is in fact a Nazi, and not just a regular Nazi, but a pretty high-rank official. And with the help of Lisa, who by the way is a concentration camp survivor, he got off the death penalty. And I just want to mention that she doesn't look comfortable at all through the entire scene. Probably because she's a concentration camp survivor dating a Nazi. And after months and years of being separated, they meet where they first met. A concentration camp. Which personally, not my vibe. The film then goes to flashback land where we'll discover the backstory of this strange relationship. Lisa arrives at the back of a military truck. And then we get something that will come back through the film, and that's infant death. This is an edgy one. Watch out, you can cut yourself on that edge. Then, since this is a Nazi exploitation, the doctor is checking everyone's vagina. And while we see beautiful women with their legs open, we get some anti-Semitism. An uncomfortable amount of anti-Semitism. Then again, since this is a Nazi exploitation, the camp is in fact a brothel for good soldiers. Good job, director, you saw Salon Kitty. But before the soldiers can have sex, we of course have to have some anti-Semitism. And we get that through a photo montage of Jewish people getting tortured. The last few images are different though. I guess our friendly neighborhood director saw Salo and was like, yo, my Nazi film really lacks shit-eating. Then we get the titular orgy, which is not the last one, and most of the guys involved are not Gestapo, they're just regular Nazi soldiers. Kind of a misleading title. Which it surprised me because the orgy is quite Caligula-esque in its depravity and no sense of shame. And then after the orgy, the only next logical step is of course gassing. Jesus fucking Christ. Then we get the traditional Nazi exploitation, lesbian warden. But she's a Nazi. I don't really want to say she's hot, but she really is. Plus later in the film, well, let's just say if you're into femme domination, it gets pretty spicy. Which the warden is just an excuse for us to get a scene of a dog eating a woman. But the dogs, which are obviously Doberman, just look happy to be there, and they just look like the goodest of boys. And during that friendly dog eating scene, one of these soldiers of course gets turned on by the scene, because why the fuck not? And the next scene says quite a lot about the entire vibe of the film. We of course get some more anti-Semitism, but this time over dinner. Don't say it too loud guys, but American History X totally ripped off this film. We have a character who's obviously a nod to Dr. Mengele and a bunch of officers talking shit. Then when the chef comes out with the main course, which is dead prisoners. The Nazi doctor is of course a bit too woke for this red pill table, and he gets kicked out. Then they proceed to eat what is not only dead prisoners, but dead babies, because this film was written by a very edgy 16-year-old. And continuing on that trend, we have a cannibal scene. And that scene with the characters being so absurdly cartoonish and obviously caricatures really make me wonder why people are offended at Nazi exploitations. But I get that, you know, movies about Nazis torturing people is a bit of a sensitive issue. However, most of them are so shameless in their mockery of the Nazis that it really makes you wonder, how can anyone take this so seriously? Sorry, I had to take that off my chest. It's just, even in the documentary about Nazi exploitation, none of the people are brave enough to admit that they just like these types of films. And there's this rumor from people who don't know anything about these movies that apparently they promote Nazi ideology. If you see a film like SS Girl, The Gestapo's Last Orgy, any of those, Ilsa She-Wolf of the SS, and you come out of that saying, yay Nazis, you're really fucking dumb. After the general wakes up from his hangover, he falls in love with Lisa. We then get this beautiful love story that makes The Notebook look like Deep Throat. The moment that really triggers his love is when he sees that she's not afraid to die. And honestly, she also falls in love, but I can't blame her when he's such a romantic.
People don't get out of this camp even after they're dead. This is a place where people do what I want them to. Of course, they can die, too, when I want them to, but not when it just suits them.
Alright, that's enough for the description part of the film, because honestly, after that part, I was just enjoying the movie. This is a pretty entertaining Nazi exploitation film. Later on in the film, we do get the typical torture, which is so low budget, it's hilarious. There's a scene where she's hanging, and supposedly mice are trying to eat at her, but we see the mice and they are adorable, and that scene is honestly hilarious, even though the context is kind of fucked up. We even get a lot of fetishism, like the domination one and the feet one, which, what the fuck? That's weird. Feet wouldn't be me. And if you thought that the edginess was done, no it's not. There are multiple references to dead babies, and there's even underwear made of hair. And it's supposedly very comfortable. And as someone with quite a lot of pubic hair, I can assure you that it's not. Don't worry, I've shaved. Is The Gestapo's Last Orgy a masterfully crafted Italian chef-d'oeuvre? No. It's a Nazi exploitation. It's dumb as shit. It's really a pile of dog shit. It's hilariously low budget. The dubbing is terrible. The characters are just caricatures, and music is pretty good. Other than that, do I recommend it? Of course I fucking do. It's a great movie. Whoa, am I in the land of douchey YouTubers? Well, yes I am, and I'm here just to ask you for a like and a subscribe. If you enjoy my content, please do so. It really helps me out, makes me happy, makes me come, and I need to come. So thank you, and have a good one.